Well, it has been around a year since the iPad Air was released, and with that being said, it is still one of the fastest iPads that you can get in the market today, especially since it has the M1 chip. But the question is, should you actually get one? Stay tuned, because in this video I'm going to be talking about the pros and the cons when it comes to the iPad Air, and if you should go ahead and get one. So let's get right into it. So the first thing I want to talk about when it comes to the iPad Air has to be the overall design. Now, I absolutely love how thin it is. I love how lightweight it is. And the color on the back, I love the matte color. It feels really, really good in the hands and just super premium. Now, moving on, you do have two speakers on each side, which are pretty decent. I mean, they're not going to be super crazy good, but they do their job and they sound pretty good. And now moving on from the actual speakers, the next thing we're going to talk about is the buttons. So you have two on the side right here and then one on the top. And so this first button actually brings us to my first con, which is the fingerprint sensor. Yes, it's really good and it's really cool that you can unlock it just by using your fingerprint. However, you don't have Face ID. So if you don't want to use your finger to unlock it, you're still going to have to type in your password, and it's kind of a hassle. I wish I could just double tap or lift it up and then Face ID would automatically unlock it for me. I feel like the fingerprint sensor is an extra step. However, I am being just a little bit nitpicky with it, but I just feel like it would be a lot easier if we were able to use Face ID rather than a dedicated fingerprint sensor. So I don't know, that's just my opinion. Let me know down in the comments what you think. Would you rather have Face ID or do you not mind the fingerprint sensor? Maybe I'm just tripping, I don't know. So besides the fingerprint sensor, the next thing I want to talk about when it comes to this iPad Air has to be the screen resolution. So it is not 4K, it's just a little bit over 1440p, but it still looks really, really good. The colors are really bright and vibrant, and then the picture quality looks really, really crisp, especially when I'm watching YouTube videos and things like that. It looks really, really great. Now, besides the picture, the next thing I want to talk about has to be the cameras. This iPad comes with two 12 megapixel cameras, one on the back and then one on the front. And I do love the way the camera's kind of designed in the back. It's very minimalistic and it just looks really, really good. But when it comes to this camera, I love it because both cameras do have ultra wide capabilities. So if you do want to capture an ultra wide photo, or if you want to FaceTime and make it go ultra wide, you definitely have that option. Now, another thing that I love with these cameras is the fact that this back one right here actually films in 4K at 60 FPS, which is just beautiful. So this is the back camera, and you are listening from my voice from the microphone of the actual iPad Air. So let me know what you think about it. I'm very interested to hear your feedback. But this is like the widest the back camera goes when it comes to videos. The front camera has a ultra wide lens, which is absolutely stunning. So I'm very excited to show it to you. But first, let's just show you how the front camera looks. So this is the front camera. Honestly, I think it looks pretty good. I mean, I think the back camera looked a little bit better, but where this shines has to be the ultra wide lens in the front camera. So let's check it out. This is the ultra wide lens, and I think this is crazy because you can literally see that wall to that wall, and honestly, it just looks wild. So I think this ultra wide lens is where it shines, especially in the front camera. Whenever you're on Zoom or like FaceTime, it looks really, really good. And if you're this far in the video and you want to show some love and support, don't forget to go ahead and hit that like button and the subscribe button if you want to see more of my upcoming content. So I post just about every week, and if you want to get notifications, hit the little bell icon as well. Anyways, let's get back to the review. And honestly, that's really, really good quality. If you wanted to film a YouTube video or if you wanted to just take pictures of anything, it will look really, really good. So I'm really surprised at this camera, especially for the price. Now, the front camera only comes in at 1080p, which is kind of okay. However, a feature that I love about the iPad is that whenever you're on FaceTime, you don't even have to necessarily be holding this iPad. If you want, you could just dock it somewhere, and then whenever you move around, it'll follow you and follow your motion. So you don't necessarily have to move the iPad at all. The iPad will just trace you and then follow you pretty much wherever you go. So it is a really cool feature, and I love it. And now, after the cameras, the next thing we have is the USB port, which is a USB Type-C, which actually comes in the box. I'm extremely happy it comes with the cord and the port, so you can charge this wherever. And when it comes to the battery life on this device, in a lot of reviews, I've been hearing a lot of people say that the battery life isn't that great, but for me, it has worked perfectly fine. Keep in mind, whenever I use my iPad Air, I mainly use it to watch YouTube videos, scroll on Amazon Prime, or just like go through social media. So I don't use it too much. If you're somebody who's a student and you want to use this as your laptop, or you want to use this as your work laptop, I would definitely say take a charger with you just in case, because if you're using this like all the time on the daily, I would expect anywhere between 6 to 8 hours of battery life. But for me, since I don't use it too much and go too hard on it, it lasts me about 2 days, like I said, just watching YouTube and scrolling the web. So for me, I think the battery life is still really good. So overall, I think you get a lot with this iPad Air, especially since it's been around a year since it's been out. You can get this for as low as $400 brand new, and that is a deal for everything that it does. However, that is on the base model, which brings me to my next con, is that the base model only comes with 64 gigs of storage. Like, really? That is literally nothing. So if you are using this for school or for work, I would definitely bump it up. There are solutions if you still want to pay that $400 price. So if you want, you could get an external SSD and just plug it into the drive right here. However, when it comes to using an SSD, let's say your battery is about to die and then you still have your SSD plugged in, it's kind of gonna suck because then you have to unplug it and then plug in the charger and then wait for it to charge and then take it out and then plug back in your SSD. So it's just a hassle. I would much rather recommend bumping up to that 256 gig, especially if you're using this as a daily driver for school or for work. That's completely up to you. But overall, $400 for this iPad Air is a really good deal. Now, if you have the iPad Air, let me know down in the comments below what you think about it. There are a lot of accessories that you can pair with this iPad Air, such as the pen and the keyboard from Apple themselves, or you can go through another brand and kind of get a keyboard through there. If you want to see a new video about accessories on the iPad Air, go ahead, hit the subscribe button because I'll be posting one soon. Anyways, if you have any questions, comments, or anything, leave them down below. And thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.